Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered a large exploration-focused level that was called Hidden Treasures of the Snake King. So in this part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 viewer-submitted levels, starting out with this one, Crash the Secret Laboratory MKIII by DerelictAllstar, 18 plays in a score of 2. And also, based off the name change of the game, as well as the snazzy new interface, I'm now playing on Mega Man Maker V1.1.0. So, 2 new world masters were added, a bunch of new special weapons, and a whole bunch of new enemies. But I will be covering the specifics of those changes in a dedicated part, because there were 2 or 3 new levels added to the sample levels category. The one at base you get when you download Mega Maker for first time. And as always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a part like this one, please leave the level name or preferably the level ID in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. And as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also, the timestamps for all the levels covered here will be in the description as well. And because this is a DerelictAllstar level, I suppose this will be a traditional level. That being that you can get to the end without using any special weapons, and you can rely just on using your Mega Buster. And judging by the introduction of enemies, it's been relatively well introduced as well. Sadly, we don't have the ability to use charge shots, but we can slide, so we still have Mega Man 3 physics. We were first introduced into Waterfall in a safer configuration, now we're in the more dangerous one with all the bottomless pits. So they still have the touch of having proper difficulty progression. It is getting gradually harder with all of the mets being placed over there. Thankfully we have stuff like the Magma Missile in order to make things a little bit easier on ourselves. So far so good. Now that was me not holding right far enough. Before we had those ladder grabs or edge grabs right at the right over solid ground. Now we're on more dangerous ground, over bottomless pits. And the checkpoint placement is fine. After all, it's only a half-minute jog to get back there. Also, I'd like to point out that I really like the changes to restart, or should I reset. Now it's called checkpoint. It's more explicitly stated out instead of being an icon of a flag, so I do appreciate that. Also, I do like the new background and there being more space. There could be more space for adding stuff like the energy balancer or W tanks. Especially W tanks, because having M tanks as being the only way to restock your weapon energy at any time is kinda imbalanced, because you can restore all of your weapon energy at once, in comparison to E tanks which only restores your life energy. So having a W tank which only restores one of your weapon energy would be a lot more balanced, especially for certain other level types. As I was saying, here the ladder grab segment was done over a safe environment, those being the solid ground, now being less solid ground with all the count bombs and holes, now a lot more dangerous. A little bit precise over there, but it's fine, as long as you hold right and up you should be able to make it. Even the batons aren't that dangerous, it's just that one ladder grab which I screwed up the first time. Also great checkpoint placement, as always. I can get by the stage by just using the Mega Buster, but I'll use special weapons. After all, they are one of the things that make Mega Man so fun to play. If Mega Man never really had all those special weapons at his disposal that he can acquire from all the various world masters, Mega Man would be half as fun to play. After all, half the fun of Mega Man is utilizing all the varied and crazy special weapons. Let's go left. And get hit. Oh yeah, I also have my auto-fire button on my controller set up for enemies like the Picket Men, so I don't need to button mash too hard. Especially in the more difficult stages that may come up. I know I can make that jump. There we go. I want to take care of that Picket Man first so he doesn't snipe me with one of his pickets. And we're now introduced to all the protons. First in a safe ground, now on uneven ground. And yet still I get hit twice. Now we're in 1 block high tiles. But we can hit them anyway or early by using the Mega Buster, or by using the easy button with the Rolly Cutter or the Magnet Missile. And of course we have the stuff like the Crash Bomb in order to deal with all these shielded enemies easily. Now we're introduced to all the Shadow Man platforms. Always spectacular challenge progression, first getting harder, then getting, well, first starting out easy, then getting harder, then mixed in with other enemies and other gimmicks. Now we have the ladder grab gimmick mixed in with the count bombs and the batons. So far I'm really liking the stage, really solid traditional style Mega Man level. And I do like the aesthetics and how this is a sort of a hybrid of a water stage and a laboratory slash factory slash building stage. Well, building stage slash water stage. For some reason my fire button didn't work over there. Oh goody, now we have a harder version of this. We have to be a bit careful while making the ground we go on, so we don't end up getting skewered on the spikes. That's a very neat way of a challenge, oh goody. I was gonna damage boost over there because I didn't realize there was a row of spikes there. Oh no. I see you there, Sniper Joe. I really don't want to deal with you, so I'll just use the Crash Bomb. And yet that octopus battery took the hit. There we go. That's not what I meant to do. I'm being a bit silent here because I'm never really trustworthy of how these spikes work. Rolling Cutter time, after all, it is one of the few weapons that can one-shot them. But I really need some extra life energy more than anything else. Like here. Maybe I can acquire some here? No. No. Well, now I guess we need to climb on all these count bombs. Well, at least the count bombs do reset if I go off screen, so that makes it a bit easier. I don't need to reset the entire room. Oh no, force beams coming up. And I don't remember going to a nearby checkpoint, so hopefully there's one coming sometime. Oh, thank you for the large life drop. Really appreciated. Oh, okay, this is a racing segment. We don't have access to the... whatever that weapon's called. The fast stopper here, and... okay, checkpoint time. We have either fire bars or elect beams. And they're on different timings. I'll take the fire bar route. Oh, and these have the beaks. This may have not been the best option. The octopus battery route would be a lot easier. Because I can't get knocked off as easily like here. Oh goody, the timings may be... I still get hit, of course. Yeah, I think I'm gonna die over here. There's no way I can do it here without having to wait for the timing a little bit longer. Well, there's a checkpoint over here, so it's fine. So instead I'll take the left route and see what it has to offer. Well, I already know what it has to offer. It focuses more on Susie's, aka octopus batteries. But I'd rather take the octopus batteries than the beaks. A lot more than that. They're a lot less annoying to deal with. Oh, of course, they can still snipe me from the left side of the room. Thanks, game. Still, this is easier because I can get by them faster. And it was always just a different option, and now we need to race above here to avoid getting hit by the bullets, but I still get hit. That's a lot of shield attackers. At least I had Crash Bomb energy to make this a little bit easier. Slow and steady wins the race, I suppose. That should be enough to restore all my Crash Bomb energy. Well, 2/3 of it. Oh, a spike drop. A rather easy spike drop, actually. Not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. And yet still I got hit there. Okay, we were introduced to the big eye over there, and now we have to be a bit careful if we want to make our way across with all the flipping platforms. I really need to check the level editor and see what the official names of these platforms are. After all, one of the things that this editor actually added was descriptions for every item in the game, even every different type of spike, which is kind of hilarious. But it thankfully actually added the names for all the different enemies and obstacles, so now we can actually compare the enemies pretty easily. So you don't need to memorize the names, or it's a lot easier to compare the names for every different type. Well, we have the hotheads, and goodbye hotheads. And there was a checkpoint a bit earlier, so I probably should have used it. Goody, we have the proton bombing segment along with the count bombs. Well, it is mixing up gimmicks together, and we're at the checkpoint. This is going to be a boss fight, so I'm going to reset here. This is a bit longer of a traditional stage, but I still liked it. It was a little bit more on the harder side, but it had a fair challenge progression, starting easy to a bit more difficult. I wonder... Oh, the water's gonna change up this fight. What is your weakness? Is it Crash Bomb itself? Of course it is, it's Crash Bomb. Except I don't have any energy left over. Well, I guess I have to do it the classic way. That being just Buster only. The other weapons are just too unreliable for my taste. I just wish I had a checkpoint though for this. Especially because I can't restore my Crash Bomb energy. So just keep rolling left and right and I should be able to win the fight. This fight was a lot harder in Mega Man 2, of course, mainly because you didn't have access to quick sliding. And that was the end of Crash the Secret Laboratory MKIII, another wonderful stage by DerelictAllstar. A hybrid of a laboratory/water stage. It's similar to Burstman in that style. In fact, Burstman was a combination of a laboratory/water stage, so I guess it's going to be in that same category. I already explained why I like this stage, so good work as always, DerelictAllstar. Another nice thing about the updated Mega Maker or Mega Man Maker engine is the fact it loads up a lot faster, so optimization was passed here. So second up on the lineup is Metals Water Reclamation by Omegada, 8 plays and a score of 1. This is the next in a series of levels that was started by Two Snakes, One Mega Man / Snakes in the Bay. That was a Snake Man focus level. This is a Metal Man focus level, taking place in Gemini Man's background. And we have Mega Man 3 physics and Mega Man 3 only weapons. Mega Man 3 only weapons and utilities, I mean. Because we were introduced to Rush in Mega Man 3, so we have both the coil and jet. Now we're introduced to all these enemies, specifically the crazy cannons, and the meteors and batons. Although the background isn't from Gemini Man, it's from Centaur Man's stage, I think? I'll have to double check. Whatever those pillars are. Now we're introduced to all these Sniper Joes. So this is a bit of forced weapon usage here because you need to use the Surf Snake in order to get down here. So this makes the stage more like a fortress stage. As I repeatedly stated throughout this LP and in my disclaimer, I'll be treating different types of levels differently. I'll be treating traditional Mega Man levels versus Fortress levels versus special weapon focus levels differently. Because they all have their own unique gimmicks and whatnot. And by holding left air, we got that extra M tank. Oh, the autofire button is so helpful. I was gonna say autofire key, but I'm using a controller. Well, this is definitely like a Fortress/Dock Robot stage because we are forced to use the Rush Jet. And before you ask, no, you don't start out with the Rush Jet, so it won't count as a traditional Mega Man 3 stage. It's more like a Dock Robot stage, or a Fortress level. I should have just summoned Rush down there. There's a checkpoint right over here, so it's all good. Hopefully there's some large life energy or large weapon energy in order to restore my Rush Jet energy. And we still don't have the energy balancer. Something I really wish that was added. Also, Rush Marine. Rush Marine was so underutilized in Mega Man 3. It has so much lost potential that it wasn't fairly utilized. I mean, the Rush Marine was better utilized in Mega Man Revenge of the Fallen, which I will do a full LP of it someday. Don't worry about that. It's just that it's so huge that it will take a while to record everything. I did have an in-progress LP, but it only went up to about 5 or 6 stages. But there's a lot of things to discuss about that stage and how it, or that game, and how it actually affected how I designed my Magmal 1 and 2 levels. Even more specifically my Magmal 2 level. Also, the Search Snake doesn't work properly in this engine, as you may have noticed, because it immediately dissipates once it hits a corner going downwards. That's not how it's supposed to work. I guess we're at the end of the stage. It was a pretty nice Fortress/Dock Robot stage. And hi again. I definitely liked it better than Snakes in the Bay. How do I get up to him? Oh, that's how. What's his weakness? Maybe? That seems to be pretty effective, if you ask me. I still get hit every time, though. Okay, M-Tank time. Wait, I didn't try Magnet Missile. This is a lot easier to hit him with, though. So that was the end of Metal's Water Reclamation, a pretty nice Fortress/Dock Robot stage. Had a nice introduction, and I did like the short Rush Jet segment. And there was plenty of weapon energy to go around, for the most part, so I'll give this a thumbs up. Good work, Omegada. I'll be playing your other levels in the series in the future. I'll be spreading them out between the Viewer Submit levels part, so that I can showcase other people's level designs and whatnot. So third on the lineup is Prova do Fogo by Lipatio, or Lipatio, 8 plays and a score of 1. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your level's name or your username. I get the feeling it's a foreign name. We have Hardman's stage team and Mega Buster and Firestorm, and we're introduced to the Fire Wave or the Fire Beams, as well as the Hotheads. Well, I guess this is going to be a fire-oriented stage, that's for sure. Oh joy, this type of stage. It's going to be more of a timing-based stage, I get the feeling. There is frequent checkpoint placement, so that's good. All of the 3 stages I covered so far have great checkpoint placement relative to their difficulty, same with this one. That's not how I intended to skip the challenge, but okay. Oh, I have to get by this as quickly as possible. And I'll fail that completely. And get hit multiple times, and embed myself in the spike. Well, I can't fault the checkpoint placement, this is going to be a harder stage. I'll need to redefine how I define each and every type of stage type, because calling a stage a challenge level is rather subjective. If anything, all the challenge levels I've described in my Mega Maker history, or in my level spreadsheet, they are really more precision-based ones with precision-based spikes. That's a better description of those level types. I see you there, Hothead. Almost made that. Oh no, not the Sparkman platforms. This engine's version of Sparkman platforms is too glitchy for my taste. Phew, I got it past that checkpoint. And thankfully, there was a checkpoint here too. That section was rather brutal with that last Sparkman platform jump. At least there's always a frequent checkpoint placement, so I'm not complaining there. The level creator definitely understands how to make challenge levels and how to balance difficulty in terms of where to place checkpoints. The more the difficult stages like this one, the more frequent checkpoint placement there should be. And they are introducing the challenges like the fire bars in safe environments or safe enough, and gradually ramping up the difficulty. That I don't understand, and that's the engine's fault. I need to jump high enough so I can evade the fire bars or firestorms as I keep calling them. And these jumps aren't too precise, you just need to be quick on your feet and you'll be able to make it. These on the other hand, oh goody. This is still better than the Sparkman platform issue. These are a lot less glitchy, is what I'm saying. This is one of those precision-based challenge levels I mentioned earlier. You gotta be really quick on your feet here if you want to survive. Phew, I thought I was gonna fall in the pit there. This would be a great place for a checkpoint, actually. Also, all the red in the background is becoming really grating on the eyes. Everything is red. It would have been a really jerk maneuver if I got killed over there. Thank you for the checkpoint. There probably should have been one in the middle over there, especially with how tense it got. I do like how most of the enemies are fire-based and the more red color scheme. It becomes grating on the eyes, it can easily lose track of where everything is, if you're not careful. You may want to vary up the color palette. Oh, why do you do this? That was a really Kaiser maneuver there. And I don't like the precision jumps and precision squeezing ones because of the aforementioned engine issues. I'm not sure if I'll be able to complete this stage normally, but I'll try my best. Oh phew, I made it past that segment in just 3 or 4 tries. I expected there to be stuck over there for about 2 or 3 dozen attempts. I think I'm getting better at these precision areas, or maybe the engine updated to make those spike boxes a bit less unforgiving. But as I said, I don't really like these types of challenges with precision, especially with spikes involved. If only non-instant net spikes were introduced into the engine, that would alleviate a lot of my concerns. Or make the spike hitboxes a bit smaller. That's one of the main reasons I never really like to do these challenges here. And alas, we're at the boss fight. Still, at least the checkpoint placement is fine. I guess his weakness is the firestorm. And I gotta be quick so I can actually hit him with it. Otherwise, he'll use the rain flush on me. And I need to be careful so I don't end up getting hit by the fire bars. Easier said than done, though. Because stuff like that can happen. I thought I was gonna be killed over there. The fire bars combined with Toadman's timing could make this fight a little bit more challenging. Still, this was a nice challenge level. Great checkpoint placement, but boy, the last precision area was very challenging. It's not in my preferences, so I really can't give this a thumbs up or thumbs down. It was well designed, but I don't really like these types of stages. Whenever I say challenge, I mean spike precision focused. Still, good work, Lipatio. Forward on the lineup is Quem, Apagou as Luzes, also by Lipatio, 14 plays and a score of 1. And I totally believe I'm butchering the title. Sorry, Lipatio, or Lipatio. Let's hope it's not as a spike-heavy stage like a previous one was. If that's the case, I'll have to reduce the number of levels I'm going to cover here down to 5. Oh goody, force beams. At least they're green. And now we have the roller enemies, whose name escapes me even though I used them in my Magmal 2 level. And this is going to be a longer level too. Wonderful. Hello? One second. Okay, my fire button was not working properly for some reason. Oh, one of these segments. And now the spikes are being camouflaged into the background itself. You can see the small white speck over there though. Still, it's kind of challenging. Oh goody, it is a spike-heavy stage. Let's just hope it doesn't require as much precision as the previous one was, with the 1 block high sliding. At least here we have some damage boosting opportunities. And thank you for introducing ourselves to all these enemies sliding down. That I do approve of. Oh, wait a minute. We actually have 2 rush jets? Was that a new feature added to the engine where you can have multiple of the same special weapon type? If so, that opens up a whole bunch of new level ideas. Now you can effectively have a limited number of special weapon energies, but you can effectively double or triple it for the same weapon type. So you can like have double the rush jet energy, or double the rush coil energy, or double the mag missile energy. If that's the case, thank you, Mega Man Maker team. So now we have a conveyor belt shuttling enemies towards us, and that's not how the crystals are supposed to come out. Also, great checkpoint placement. As always, if the level's more difficult, there should be more checkpoints. Oh no. Force beams. I'm dead here. I wasn't fast enough. Is sliding or jumping here faster? Let me try jumping most of the time. Yeah, jumping's faster. Come on. Oh, thank you. Just made it. That was a little bit of a blind jump there. That was more my fault, though. I guess this is where we need to use Rush Jet. And now we use Rush Jet over here to get our way back. After all, we have double, but I need to be careful so I don't end up using it all. And now we have more spike traps. These camouflage themselves with the background, so I wish they were a little bit changed a bit so they were more distinct, but I guess that's part of the challenge. And those enemies are called Screw Bombers. I kept calling them in their other enemy type all as techs, or beaks I mean. Techs are a different type of enemy that aren't part of the engine. Those are the ceiling walker enemies who fire above you from the ceiling down at you. Now introduced to all of these now introduced to these things, the Sparkman platforms. Joy. At least I have the Rush Jet in order to increase my horizontal momentum. Otherwise this stage would be really nightmarish to do. I see you, Spikes. Goodbye, room. Oh no. At least there's always those alert sirens at the top. It indicates that you need to go fast. Those topspin platforms, etc. Now I have the red force beams. Well, I got by the room rather easily, actually. Now I'll just keep holding up, and hopefully I make it. What's the ladder on the left for, anyway? I get the feeling I need to restart at the checkpoint. I was too slow. There are frequent weapon energy drops here, though, so it's fine. Oh, goody, it's one of these segments where you need to get by. It's a Rush Jet shmup segment, but a lot more precise. At the very least, as long as I hit the yellow beams, I won't be instantly gibbed, though, so that's appreciated. The only danger is, of course, hitting the red force beams. If this was another engine, hitting any of those enemies would be a death sentence. Or, of course, in any engine, hitting one of the blocks here would be a death sentence. Let's try this again, shall we? Hopefully with less rush jet despawning. I think I'll only cover 5 levels in this part, sorry, it's becoming long enough. The next 1 or 2 videos will be focusing on viewer-submitted levels, so there's that. My queue is growing long enough anyway. And I just noticed you have to pick up those large weapon pickups if you want to survive. Or stop in the middle and use the other rush jet if you want. It's a bit risky though with some of the positioning of these force beams though. Because I don't know if I'll die if rush jet falls into the force beams. Oh no, alert. A whole bunch of enemies are coming. Time to use auto fire. Oh, almost dead. I probably should have used an M-tank there. Checkpoint, thank you. I want to stock up energy just to be safe. And restore my rush energy just to be safe as well. I see left over there and I despawned it. Way to go. Let's try this one and see if we survive. Good, I didn't get telefragged for some reason, and now we're introduced to all these different types of force beams. Gotta be quick over there so we don't die. And now we're taken to the boss fight, I suppose. Thank you for the alert symbol. I definitely liked the stage, Lipatio. I definitely liked it more than the previous level. This was a little bit more of a challenge stage, some precision, but it was more like a rush jet focused stage, especially with the second half being longer, or the second part of the stage being longer. And I liked the decreased emphasis on precision that the first stage had. Now, Sparkman. And I forgot we actually had access to the... whatever the other weapon... I mean, we had access to stuff like the NATO. I really want to destroy you, Screw Bombers. Unfortunately, the perfect freeze is kind of inaccurate of where it goes. I'll just use the Mega Buster. So that was the end of the stage. Pretty nice challenge level, although it should be more like a special weapon focus level specifically. I was somehow able to move after the stage ended, so I will give this a thumbs up. Good work, Lipatio. I'd like to try some of your levels in the future, that's for sure. But hopefully they're not too difficult like the Prova de Fogo was. That was a killer. So 5th and final level of this part is 6 levels of Spickfall Hard by Pirata Patheta. 25 plays and a score of 2. And I believe they meant to say Spikefall, not Spickfall. And there are gonna be 6 segments of this, or 6 sections. No boss door. Level 1. So different levels of difficulty. And we have the shine, so we have to slow down our... we need to slow down our momentum using this. And it's gonna get gradually harder and harder. Hopefully there's no one tile high blocks or one gap blocks. At least there are checkpoints every 2 levels or so, so that's nice. I guess we need to kill our momentum about here. You can get by this Spikefall just by using... you can get by just using the Mega Buster actually. Oh neat, now we have a checkpoint every corridor. Now we're forced to use the shine, of course. And I completely failed this one. I would have died over there, but I'd rather just restart a checkpoint because it's faster. Button mashing... Now I gotta be a little bit careful while descending down this corridor, so I don't end up embedding myself on one of those wall spikes. And this is just level 4. Just imagine how much more difficult it's gonna become soon enough. Yeah, I was down there, I thought I was gonna die. Getting really close to the spikes there, and at least it's varied challenges of different types of spikes, or different types of spike challenges. This one's a bit more precise too. Almost made it. Let's just hope that the second level, or should I say the 6th level, doesn't take as long or doesn't require a huge number of jump cuts. That would be nasty. I mean, hopefully it's not as long as the 4th level was. And that the shine also obscures where I'm falling, so it makes it a bit hard to figure out the hitbox. Good luck? I think they meant to say luck, not good luck. Oh goody, here it comes. It's 1 gaps. Oh boy. Well, I'll be doing a jump cut right over here and ignore all my failures. I'll just tell you how many failures I have near the end. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but I won't be able to complete this level, Pirata. It's just outside of my skill level, it's too hard, and it's outside of my preferences as well. I just can't do these pixel-precise maneuvers required for these spike drops. I was able to complete up to level 5 at the very least, and so I'll be showing off the rest of the level in the level editor. I got stuck mostly around here and I died over and over, so, well, there's no need to show all those deaths. And yikes, if I was a more skilled Mega Man player, I would have been able to do it, but sadly I'm not. And I was so close. At the very least, I did give your stage a thumbs up, Pirata. It felt as well designed and well introduced using the shine as well as the spike drops. Although there is a difficulty spike between 5 and 6, so maybe add one more level in between it, like a 5.5 or something, or turn 6 to 7, just to smooth out the difficulty curve here. Because there's a significant jump of having to do these tight 1-gap squeezes. So there's my summary of this challenge stage. Overall, in this part, my favorite level would definitely be Crash the Secret Laboratory MKIII, with an honorable mention going to Quem Apagou as Luzes. Crash the Secret Laboratory for being a very well designed traditional Mega Man level with nice challenge progression, nice progression of ramping up the difficulty, and nice combination of enemies placed in a nice combination of a water/laboratory stage. I said nice over 4 times here, but that's really what I would define this stage as. At least a 6 or 7 out of 10 in my book. And honorable mention to Lipatio's second stage, mainly because I really liked the Rush Jet segment. It was a lot more precise than previous ones, but it really felt thrilling to go to a much more difficult version of this that focused more on having to dodge lasers and being in a really constrained area without being forced into instant death where if you hit a block you die. Instead, using the force beams we have a more soft way of taking damage and being punished. So in the next part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 more viewer submitted levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!